Home to nearly 500 species of reptiles, the biodiversity of Ecuador is among the most impressive in the world. But if so many incredible reptilian species are present in the country, why don't we really hear anything about them? One of the main reasons comes down to their biology. Reptiles lead very cryptic, complex lives that rarely intersect with people, and this disconnect from human activities has led them to be understudied and overlooked by most. We want to bring you into the hidden world of these reptiles and show you how their lives indelibly impact our own. A mission which will uncover everything from fascinating species you've never heard of before to rarely observed spectacles of reptile behavior that you need to see to believe. My name is Harrison, and this is Evan. We're twin brothers following our dream to share the true life stories of the animals we love to help you become an insider in the natural world. During our time here in Western Ecuador, we have been investigating the impact that human development has on the country's wildlife by studying the health of a rather unusual ecosystem, a working horse ranch. Though far from a perfect habitat, watching wildlife navigate the mixture of disturbed areas and preserved natural spaces gives us the chance to see if different groups of animals are able to respond to the pressure of human activity and live out their lives successfully. And our targets today are perhaps the most interesting species to evaluate in this way: reptiles. They are some of the most adaptable animals on the planet and can occupy a staggering range of ecological niches, from the tiniest insect hunters to one of the largest ambush predators in the region. Our goal is to capture as much of the local reptile diversity on camera as we can and determine what roles they're able to carry out here, using each encounter to piece together a little more of an understanding of the ranch as an ecosystem. Experiencing reptiles' unique life stories will take considerably more effort than it would with other types of animals, so there is no time to lose. Let's find out what herpetofauna this ranch has to offer. Right here on the fence is an iridescent whirltail iguana, the first one we've ever seen and the first lizard I'm going to try and catch here in Ecuador. Doesn't seem too spooked. Hey, buddy. Got him. No way. There he is. Wow. You can tell that he's not quite warmed up yet. He was sitting here probably basking, so he didn't even run away. He's not quite got enough energy to escape. And it is a female, so the males have some really bright color. They have a black bar on the throat that she does not have, so we know this is a female. We're not going to hang on to her for too long. We'll probably let her get back to basking. But wow, I can't believe an iridescent whirltail. This is great. She's so calm. Actually, it was an easier catch than I expected. Hey, guys. Hi. After the dogs cross through, we'll put her back on the line here and she can keep basking. All right, sweetheart. Off you go. There you go. So cool. Iridescent whirltail iguanas are extremely abundant in this region of Ecuador. And in fact, they're one of the dominant species of small lizards in the dry forest ecosystem because of their adaptability. They feed on a wide variety of invertebrates, so they have a lot of available food sources, and their preference for open habitats allows them to readily colonize human settlements. Even though iridescent whirltail iguanas tend to do well in disturbed areas, the true impact that human development has on their population still isn't fully understood, which is true of many species of reptiles here in Ecuador. One of the reasons we know so little about tropical reptiles is that there are so many species and they're quite difficult to detect, so researching their biology requires considerable time and effort. Here in Guayaquil, the heat is so intense during the day that all but the biggest and most resilient reptiles have to take shelter under cover when the sun is out in full force. However, we were able to take advantage of this knowledge in order to find more of the reptile diversity we were looking for. One of the best ways to find small reptiles during the day is to flip cover like logs and rock piles, and on the ranch, suitable cover is plentiful. This isn't the fastest method of searching, but it's certainly among the most reliable, and before long, our efforts yielded an encounter with a fascinating little lizard. Gecko, look at this guy. That is not one I've seen yet, actually. But what are you? Well, actually we can narrow it down this way. This is a dwarf gecko in the family Sphaerodactylidae, and there is only one other species of dwarf gecko that I know that occurs here on the ranch, so that would make this the horseshoe dwarf gecko. And in fact, looking at the tail and the coloration on the head, I would say we have a positive ID. Now, this is a diurnal lizard species, like a lot of the dwarf geckos, so I'm actually not surprised to see it moving around in the rocks here. It would be eating very small invertebrates, things like that. And what's interesting about this species is that they are extremely delicate. So I cannot grab its tail. I really can't apply any pressure to the body at all, because not only can they shed off their tail, they can also shed parts of their skin. So it is extremely important that I am very gentle with this animal, but luckily, it doesn't seem to mind being on my hand for just a little bit here. Small animals like this are prey for so many other species, not just other reptiles, but something this small could even be eaten by a spider or a large scorpion. So how about that? A tiny little unassuming lizard that has an integral role in the ecosystem here. So we're gonna get this guy back right on his way, because there is no shortage of predators for this animal. See you, buddy. Finding such a tiny reptile is an accomplishment on its own, but after talking to our friend and host Emilio, we realized that this animal is even more special than we thought. It turns out that this is the first horseshoe dwarf gecko that has ever been positively identified on the ranch, which is a very encouraging sign for our assessment of this ecosystem. It shows that even this habitat, which has been thoroughly explored and significantly developed, can still harbor incredible natural secrets and surprise even the most seasoned of wildlife lovers. Adding another species to the ranch's life list is a great reflection of its health, because the richer the diversity of species it can support, the more productive and resilient the ecosystem is. Another positive sign of a healthy ecosystem is seeing predators successfully catching prey. And while exploring around one of the ponds on the ranch, we got a call from our friend Rex that there was an absolutely unbelievable interaction going on, as a massive black-tailed boa had just taken down an equally impressive green iguana. A quick word of warning. This sequence is absolutely amazing to witness, but predation events can be a little intense to watch. If you would like to skip this scene, use the timestamp down in the description to jump right to another fascinating reptile catch. If you're ready though, we booked it over to Rex as fast as we could, and we were treated to the most impressive predation event I have ever seen. Holy smokes, he is huge. Right here, there is an adult black-tailed boa eating a green iguana. And if you take a look at these animals, this is truly a clash of the titans. These are huge reptiles, some of the biggest that probably exist on the ranch. So to be able to watch this predation event in real time is absolutely incredible. It proves that the predators that exist here are getting enough to eat, are able to support themselves, and unfortunately for that iguana, this boa is making quick work of him. What happened is, this boa was up in the trees here, grabbed the iguana, constricted it, cut off the blood flow, and now it's fallen to the ground where it's going to try and get that meal in. But if you look at this animal, the boa is struggling a little bit because that iguana is pretty big. Now, we don't want to disturb him. Snakes can be pretty shy about eating when there are threats like people around, so we're gonna move off now. But to be able to watch this interaction occur is absolutely insane, but we'll let him get back to lunch. Black-tailed boas are incredibly powerful snakes, and though it may look like this boa has bitten off more than it can chew, they are perfectly evolved for taking down large meals like this. It's a common misconception that constrictors will asphyxiate their prey by cutting off their air supply, as in reality, these snakes actually rely on a more efficient hunting method. They use their powerful coils to constrict the prey animal's arteries and cut off the blood supply to the brain. This makes quick work of even large animals like iguanas and kills much faster than trying to wait for a prey item's oxygen to run out. What is perhaps even more impressive is that after a meal of this size, this boa won't need to eat again for possibly several weeks, and boas have been known to survive up to a few months without a meal. Being able to watch a boa actually complete a hunt successfully and consume their prey is extraordinarily rare, and we are super fortunate to have had the chance to document this interaction in the wild. A predation event like this is something most people will never get to see, and this was truly one of the most unforgettable wildlife encounters we've ever had. Our luck has been pretty great so far, but there is so much more out there that we could find, and in order to do so, we're going to need to change up our tactics once again. Searching for reptiles during the day can be pretty productive, but intimidating as it may seem, the best herping is actually done when the sun goes down. After the sun sets, the shift in the animal activity that happens out here is actually pretty insane. The ranch absolutely comes alive on these warm, humid nights, as all the wildlife that has had to seek shelter from the sun during the heat of the day can now explore the habitat freely. We had only been hiking for less than an hour when I saw a familiar shape slinking across a nearby tree, and we immediately rushed over to try to catch what turned out to be one of the ranch's coolest snakes.
Snake! Cat-eyed. No way. Hey, buddy. Come here, you. There we go. That, is an ornate cat-eyed snake. One of the most impressive snakes that we can find out here. Look at that. Check out the strength on that animal. This snake is perfectly adapted for a lifestyle of hunting here at night, up in the trees, as a matter of fact. They are incredible climbers. You can see it's wrapped its tail around my hand. They use their whole body to help propel them through the vegetation. They will hunt on the ground as well, but these snakes are so strong that their climbing ability is absolutely unreal. And they get the name cat-eyed snake because if you take a look right there at their head, their eyes have a vertical pupil just like a cat's, and it gives them incredible vision at night. These snakes are primarily nocturnal, so this one would be moving around looking for any lizard or frog or other small animal that it could overpower. And one of the cool things about the ornate cat-eyed snake is that they are actually mildly venomous. Now, the venom would not hurt me at all, and in fact, this snake is part of the group of snakes known as colubrids. So they don't have true fangs like something like a viper or a coral snake, anything like that. To deliver their venom, they have to chew, because they have specialized grooves in their teeth that actually allow the venom to drip down and into a prey item. But they have to hang on for quite some time, so even if it were to bite me, it wouldn't cause me any harm whatsoever. But these snakes are known to be very placid, and I'm extremely happy to see one of these animals. Apparently, they are quite common in this area, but getting to see any species of snake out here is an absolute treat. And this is definitely a beautiful animal. It has earned the name ornate for sure. And quite inquisitive too. It's sticking that tongue out. I absolutely love these animals. I've always wanted to see a cat-eyed snake in the wild. We're gonna let this guy get right back into the tree where he was, very likely hunting at this hour. All right, buddy. Back into your little hole there. That is one cool reptile.
Reptiles are so often unappreciated by people because their secretive nature and often unassuming appearance makes them a difficult group to relate to. But we think they deserve a lot more attention for their incredible diversity and the vital roles they play in the ecosystem. Reptiles serve as everything from essential food sources for other species to top-level predators that regulate the whole food web. So it's not overselling things to say that without reptiles, the ecosystem as we know it could entirely collapse. As native habitat in Ecuador continues to disappear due to human development, it's increasingly important to understand the impact that our activities have on all members of the ecosystem, and that's exactly what we hope to accomplish during our time here. Now, we've already encountered some incredible wildlife on the ranch, but we have just scratched the surface of what this habitat has to offer. It's going to take a lot more searching to uncover all of the amazing life stories that exist here, and we'll be continuing our investigation of the ranch's reptilian diversity in some upcoming videos. Be sure to stay tuned for those episodes, and if you want to see another herping adventure while you wait, check out this video where we explore the beautiful wetlands of Florida in search of some of its coolest reptiles. And with that, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.